Hey everybody, happy Friday. Welcome. Welcome to this special, I don't want to say training or I want to say talk, this special talk. And we're going to start in a few moments. So if you are on live inside my Facebook community, let me know if you can hear me well. Let me know if you can see me so that I can start chatting. I'll give you guys a few more seconds to hop on. So go grab some coffee or some water or whatever you're drinking this afternoon, and we're going to get started. How is everybody feeling? Is everybody feeling well, rested, happy that the weekend is here? Let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. Let me know what your plans are for the weekend. And I'm going to begin in a few moments. So this is not going to be a training video. I'm not going to be talking about online business or anything of that sort. Today is going to be a video that I think a lot of moms are going to resonate with. It's something that I hear over and over when I'm talking with, members in my online community or close friends or even family members. And it's something that I hope will make you feel less alone if you're feeling like this. And I hope it's something that it's going to add a bit of value in your life today. So if you are on live and you can hear me, just say hi in the comments so I can know that all is working well. I think we should be. I think we're good to go. Today we're going to be talking about the 2 times in my life that I have quit my job so that I can say yes to a happier life. So for those of you that are new to my world, my YouTube channel, or even my Facebook page, welcome. My name is Christina Rizakos. I help the everyday mom live a better, more purposeful life. And I do that by helping her reconnect to her life purpose. And then if she's game for it, I also help her take this newfound purpose and turn that into an online business. I am a homeschooling mom of 4 myself. And I am really excited to talk about this today. It's something that I don't think I talk a lot about, especially if you're brand new, or if this is one of the first times that you have ever been on a video with me. So I thought that it would be important for me to share this. Okay. Again, it's not a training on anything that has to do with online business, but I think it's a very important lesson to know, especially if you are at that place right now, right? So if you are a busy everyday mom that's just doing all the mom things that we all do, right? And you're feeling a shift in your life right now, you're feeling like, so there has to be something else out there for you. There's something else that you want to be doing. You just don't know what exactly. You may even have a faint idea and you're just not sure how to go about it or what exactly it means. And you're just feeling confused and alone with your feelings. And you're kind of living your life on autopilot. You're kind of living your life doing the same old thing, day in and day out. And you're just feeling blah and you're tired of it and you just want something else. This is the perfect video for you. So I titled it, Why I Quit My Job Twice So That I Could Live a Happier Life, because that's exactly what I did. So why I wanted to record this, why I wanted to talk about this today. It's because when I'm having conversations with everyday moms, again, they could be clients, members of my online community, friends, family members, cousins, anyone basically that is just a busy everyday mom. One of the things that I hear the most often is, the limiting beliefs. So for example, I could be talking with someone and I could be talking about how, I have the freedom, let's say, to volunteer or to go, shopping on a Tuesday morning if I feel like it. And one of the things that I keep hearing back is, I wish I could do that. I wish I could quit my job and stay home and raise my kids or stay home and homeschool my kids, but I just don't see how. Like, I don't know what would I do. Like, I would love to do this specific thing. It's always been my dream to whatever they say after that. But I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I'm capable. I don't know if I am worthy enough. I don't know if I'm strong enough or if it's going to work. And, all these things start popping up after in the conversation, all the reasons why they've told themselves they can't make this change in their life. But what that means to me is that whoever's saying this, right, is basically putting themselves down. They're kind of insinuating that they don't have something magical, whatever that they think it is, that this other person has. They think that the other person, right, has figured something out, that they're not smart enough in figuring out themselves. They think that the other person has some kind of skill or some kind of a unique gift or talent that they don't possess. They think that it comes easy to them because, obviously it comes easy to them because they're posting about it online. Whereas to them, it's difficult. It's difficult to balance kids and couple time and homework time and work and all that stuff. And I just want you to stop for a second and just let go of that BS story, because it's a total bullshit story. And I'm going to explain why right now when I share my two stories of how I quit that life that no longer was serving me, that life that I didn't want to be a part of anymore, that life that I didn't want to live anymore, to say yes to something different, to say yes to something that brought me much more joy and much more purpose, right? To say yes to something that I felt aligned with. And again, these are two stories that I don't really share about. I mean, if you're inside my online community, you may have heard of this before, but most of the time I don't. So I thought it was important I do, just so that you can see that I may be here talking about, staying at home with the kids full time, or that I get to help other moms, work from home, or all that stuff that I post about or talk about. But it didn't start like that. Like there was something that happened for me to end up here, right? No one gave me this business. No one told me, there you go, here are the keys to this life and it's yours to live and that's it. I had to do everything. I had to figure things out on my own. And most importantly, I had to give myself permission to make that decision, to say enough is enough, draw that line in the sand, and then just move on and do something else that I wanted to do at the time. Okay. And I'm going to share two stories. One, both of them are when I was in two completely different stages of my life. So you let me know in the comments which one resonates with you much more. The first one was back in 2003. I was 23, 24 years old, newly engaged. I had finished college. I was in the workforce maybe a few years, and I was working in a daycare center. We had just bought a house and we were getting married, I think like a couple of months, and I was living in a new town with my soon-to-be husband. We had just bought this house. We were getting it ready, and I had just started a brand new job. So the job was in a daycare center because that was my field. I studied in early childhood education, and I ventured off and just applied at, a daycare that was hiring close to my new home. And, I started working. And even though I loved what I did, like I loved working with kids, I loved everything about that, there was always issues with management, right? I never felt appreciated or valued. But I thought, at 23, why am I complaining? I mean, I'm getting married soon, I'm going to have bills to pay soon. So I might as well just stick around and just difficult. And I shouldn't basically just let go of, things like a good job with like benefits and insurances and all that stuff, right? Especially not let go of something like that to do something else that was so outside the box. But anyways, we'll talk about that later. So I remember we were getting married. I think we were like a week away of getting married, and I had a week off, but I needed an extra day. I needed an extra day for something. I don't know what was happening. I don't remember. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, Christina, you just started working here. You're brand new to the town, right? You don't know many people. And here you are just getting married. And how are you going to ask for a day off? Like, are you even deserving for this day off? And I remember sitting in front of my mirror in the bathroom before I went to bed, the day before I had to ask for the day off. And I remember practicing in the mirror, like looking at myself in my eyes and just pretending that was my boss staring back at me, and just telling myself, asking these questions like, can I have an extra day? And I would just play out how I was going to approach, how I was going to stand at the door frame, how, what time I was going to go knock on her office door and just ask for this day off. And then I would just play the scenario over in my mind and practice. But what if she says yes? And what if she says no? And oh my God, what if she kind of looks at me funny? And I just got myself so stressed out that I had to just take a minute and think to myself, wow, you're 23 years old. Your life is just starting now. Is this how you want to live your life? Having to ask for someone else's permission for you to do something like get married or have an extra day off to do something that brings you joy? And the answer was no. I did not want to live that kind of life. And you have to understand that up until that point, I was brought up with these beliefs where you have a job and you're just happy, thankful to have a job, and you don't cause problems, because getting a job is difficult and keeping a job is difficult. So don't complain, do as you're told. You studied in this field and that's the only thing you're going to do. And there was no swing, going around this plan. Like, I was raised to believe that. But at that moment, when I was staring at myself in the mirror at 23 years old, finally just away from my parents and away from all that, and I was kind of I thought like this was my new life, like I was starting something fresh, something new. I thought to myself, fuck no, there is no fucking way that I am going to start my new life feeling that my joy and my happiness and my freedom depends on someone else's yes or no. And that was when I just drew the line in the sand. We got married, we came back from our honeymoon, and I quit my job. I went in the office, I gave in my 2 weeks resignation, and I said to her, to my boss, thank you for the opportunity, but I just have to stop working because there's something else that I have to be doing with my life. I was thinking about starting my own business. It was something that was brewing inside me, but for a long time, I was extremely afraid because I was in my early 20s. Like, who are we kidding here? Like, I didn't know anything about business. I didn't have any money to put down. I wanted to venture off and start a brick and mortar business, which the startup fee is much more expensive than starting anything online. There were banks involved and taxes and payrolls and accountants. And I was so intimidated. I felt really unworthy or undeserving of this, role of entrepreneur. But I knew that I never, ever, ever wanted to feel that stress of asking for that extra day off from someone else, from a complete stranger. And that's when I drew that line in the sand. So when we came back from our honeymoon, I decided to give in my 2 weeks, and I ventured off with my business partner at the time, who was 22 and I was 24. And we just did that. We did that exactly. We went out and we learned, and we just took a leap of faith, and we opened up our own brick and mortar, our own daycare center. And we did that for 15 years. So again, 23, 24 years old, started my brick and mortar, zero experience. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that I had the will to figure everything out as it came. Like, I knew that there was no way I would ever want to live in a life where I had to, again, ask for permission to get a day off, or feel undervalued or underpaid, or just any of the things that I was feeling there. And this thing of, being an entrepreneur was really something that was brewing inside me. And I knew that this is who I was. I was meant to work for myself. And for a long time, it was something that I was repressing because I didn't want to, come off as showing off, because that's what my beliefs were at the time. That if I say to someone, I want to work for myself and I want to be the boss, that would sound too, I don't know what the word is, like too, not, I don't want to say intimidating, but too like, snobby or too ambitious, or whatever you want to call it. So I would kind of repress that, and I wouldn't talk about it until that experience where I said, you know what, enough is enough. This is my life. This is what I want to do. This is what makes me happy. And that's exactly what I did. Now, I'm not saying it was easy. I'm not saying it was something that, I figured out the first year. No way. But I knew that every time I failed, and every time I screwed up something at work, or every time things didn't go my way, that I was learning and I was growing, and I knew much more than I did the day before, which was really exciting. So I did that for 15 years. I worked for myself. I had 7 employees working for full time. I did this. I reached the business to a point where I didn't physically need to be in the center anymore. Like, I didn't physically need to be in the business for it to be operating, right? I trusted my staff, my customers, everyone was happy. And I knew that, like, I did it. Like, okay, like, I actually figured this out. We figured it out with my partner, and that, we're good. Like, life was good. So 15, 16 years of doing that, a lot had changed. Which brings me to the second time where I quit my job to do something that brought me more joy. 15, 16 years later, I was 41. So this was 2019, 41 years old, a mom of 4, including twins. And I knew that something was changing. I wasn't that 23, 24-year-old girl anymore. Even though I was, a much more stronger businesswoman, I knew much more. I knew that there was something else that I wanted to be doing. Obviously, working for myself was a must. Who are we kidding? I'm unemployable. There's no way I would ever work for someone. But I knew that there was something else. And I knew it wasn't brick and mortar for me. I knew it was something else, doing something different, something that had nothing to do with daycares or, anything that had to do with actually going for a loan or, investing in, renting a space or any of that stuff. I knew that it was going to be online, like virtual. So 15 years later, I found myself 41 years old, feeling a big shift. I was back there where I was 15 years prior, feeling something brew inside me. I wasn't really excited about work anymore. I felt that I had done everything that I needed to do, that I was brought there to do. And then I felt that it was time for me to move on. But again, life was different. I had 4 kids in private school. We had a house, mortgage, right? I mean, all the things, the real things that everyday families have. And I was no different, right? I had all those things and all those responsibilities. And I knew that making a move right now, which was much more risky versus making a move when I was in my 20s, because I was, I didn't have any kids and all that stuff. So I waited a bit. And when I say a bit, when I mean a bit, I say, I mean like a few months. A few months went on and I would just feel anxiety. I would wake up in the morning and I would get in my car and, try to start going to work. And then I would just think to myself, oh, I'm really unhappy right now. Like I feel bad even thinking that I'm unhappy because I'm supposed to be happy because this is my business, right? I'm supposed to love what I'm doing. And the reality was that I wasn't. I loved what I had done for those 15 years, but I knew that I wasn't the same person anymore. I had grown, I had changed, business had changed. I was learning about online business and coaching and helping people live a better life and really just doing other things on the side that going back to a brick and mortar to me seemed really something that I didn't want to do anymore. And that was really difficult as well, because when you've worked for 15 years and you've built something from the ground up, and this is something that is a steady income for your family, how the heck do you say no to that and then move on and do something else, right? Really difficult. But it was a decision that I had to make because I knew that if I stayed there, I would just be staying just because I was comfortable. And I knew that if I wanted to do this other thing that I was kind of like I was feeling internally, that I had to move on and really just take another leap of faith. And at that moment, there were so many things happening, right? I had 4 kids at home, driving everyone back and forth, that the possibility of doing, like to say, half, right? Like being at the brick and mortar and then doing something on the side wasn't a possibility for me. It wasn't something that I wanted to do because I felt that I was all over the place and I knew that I needed to focus my attention 100%. I was anxious. I wasn't sleeping well. My heart was beating so fast that night. And I would think to myself, oh my gosh, like what's going on? I know, I was 40. People would tell me all the time, wait until you're 40, you're going to feel a shift. And I would think to myself, no, it's not going to happen to me. But then when I turned 40, yes, it did. Reality set in. And I would just think to myself, well, what's next, right? My kids are older. They're in school. They're much more independent. Now it's time to focus on me again, right? I don't have to change diapers. I don't have to, do things that I would do for them when they were younger. What's next? What's next for me? Like, what do I want to do? And when I started thinking about that and really reflecting and just being honest with my thoughts, I figured out that it wasn't the brick and mortar anymore. It was something else. I didn't want to have a physical space where I had to go in every day and check in on people and have that stress in my mind all the time. I knew that I wanted to have a business where I would work online or anywhere else. I knew that I wanted different things for my life, like eventually moving from where I am right now and living closer to the beach, or having the possibility of working from a Starbucks if I felt like it, right? And I made a huge decision June 2019 to sell my brick and mortar and then just say yes to what brought me joy. And what brought me joy at that point was working online, having the time freedom to homeschool my kids if I felt like it, and working with moms that are feeling exactly what I was feeling at that point. That shift that happens when you realize, oh my gosh, I'm not happy right now with my life. There's something else I should be doing with myself. I just don't know what. Sometimes that means just making a different decision for yourself. Sometimes that means starting your own business. Sometimes that means just, calling it quits, maybe toxic relationships in your life, whatever it is, right? I knew that I wanted to work with those people because I know that moms have a lot on our plates, where we have a lot of things going on all the time. And most of the time, we are the ones that put ourselves last on the list, right? I'll do it later. I'll do it when the kids get older. I'll do it when I might pay off my credit card. I'll do it when I fit in my jeans. I'll do it when I get a new wardrobe. I'll do it when I buy a new computer, right? I've heard all the excuses, right? We are professional excuse makers. But in reality, we are capable of so many amazing things. And I knew that that's where I wanted to focus my attention on. I felt passionate about this. I knew that I could inspire other women to live better lives through reconnecting to their purpose, through showing them how they can take this idea, purpose, passion, skill, whatever it is that they wanted, and turn that into an online business. Because I don't believe that you have to choose between earning income, being a business owner, and raising your kids. I don't believe that there's a choice. You can have both, right? So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I wanted to share my two never again moments, like I like to call them. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if anything resonated with you guys. And if you're catching the replay, just hashtag replay and I'll go back and I'll give you a shout out. And I wanted to mention one more thing. So I have been taking 9 moms on this reconnect to your life purpose journey for the last week and a half. We're finishing up our second week today, and then we're finishing up the group next week. And it has been amazing. It has been filled with aha moments, a lot of great reviews, and it's something that I will be offering in a few months in a audio program or maybe a online course. I haven't decided yet, but I just wanted to check in with you guys because I know I had posted about it on my IG stories that I wanted to give you, some feedback, what types of things I've been hearing. And what I've been hearing is really good things. I've been hearing a lot of, oh my God, I forgot about this. I've been hearing a lot of, I've really let myself go. Thank you so much for, making me see that again. And as a coach and as a mom myself, I don't think there's anything better than reading and hearing reviews like that from another busy everyday mom that is just struggling with her life right now. And she's just desperately needs to reconnect to what makes her, right? And it has been really, really gratifying. So the program, it basically took these 9 moms on this journey of reconnecting to their life purpose. And it's been really, really awesome. I'm going to give you some more information next week when we are finishing up, and hopefully share a few reviews and testimonials because it's been really, really great. And it's been really fun for me to kind of guide them through the process. And what I like about it is that it's different. It's not me showing someone how to create a website or how to, start a Facebook ad. It's really me just kind of guiding just regular moms on this journey, but all of the work is done by them. They are actively participating in this. And that's really difficult to do because you're talking about your life purpose. I mean, is there anything bigger than that? I don't think so. And they're doing great. They're asking all the questions. I think the hardest thing to do is really just self-reflect and do like a real gut check. Not just a half-assed scratch the surface gut check, but a real gut check to figure out what types of things you're doing with your life, what's been working up until now, what hasn't been working, so that you can figure out what's next. And it's a program that is really exciting and fun. And I just wanted to give you guys just to give you that kind of like behind the scenes peek of it, because I know that I mentioned it in my IG stories, but I've been so busy kind of like guiding them through the process and checking in with them that I haven't really discussed it much. And I'm also trying to stay off of social media as much as I can because it's a lot of things going on social media that I just don't want to, I don't want to be a part of. So let me know if you enjoyed the video. Let me know if any comments, any aha moments, if you're feeling a shift right now, or if you're ready to basically, say no to something that is causing you a fear of stress or a life of stress or anxiety, and finally say yes to something different. Let me know in the comments. Would love to cheer you on. I think it helps when we feel less alone, that it's not just us going through this, right? There's a lot of people out there that are struggling and that are in pain and that are looking for that what's next for me. that sometimes we feel it's just us. Like there's something wrong with you because you have these questions, or because you should be happy because you have the house and the car and the kids, and that's all you need to be happy, right? And we know that's not true. So let me know in the comments what you thought of the video. Let me know if anything resonated with you. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend, and I will check in with you guys next week. Bye, guys.